I'm Coco Cox from CIAD, and I'm at Rockaway Manor. This is a 120-bed adult home in Rockaway, Queens. In most of these adult homes, the number one complaint of residents is the poor quality of the food. But at this adult home, you don't hear these complaints anymore. Rockaway Manor has hired a professional chef, and he is making a big difference.
If an adult home hires a professional chef like you, how does that come into play in running a facility like this?
I don't do anything different back there that I wouldn't do in a restaurant. I'm able to be creative, but with a tighter challenge. You're doing it as low cost as possible without stinting quality, period. Example, the waffles. They were spending $15 a case for a product that was horrible, and for $72 I got a waffle machine, and making my own batter in 3 weeks. Once a week we had waffles. In 3 weeks, paid for the waffle machine. Not only that, it's a better product. The residents knew right away that it was real. It was delicious.
So you do make good food on a tight budget?
My boss has told me that I'm at budget and under budget.
Did you increase the budget when you came here?
No, I'm using the same products that were here when I started. The only thing I brought in was herbs and spices. Every chef has their own preference. I like lots of herbs. Example, the seasoning in the tuna is I just don't use mayonnaise. I also add fresh onion. I use a little lemon juice, lemon pepper. The lemon goes nice with fish. A dash of cayenne, a little parsley for a garnish. And there's your tuna. I just took the product and tweaked it. You know, didn't bring in anything different. Still spending the same money. Seasoned the product, not just throw the can into a pot with the liquid that's in the can. The food has improved because I'm cooking with fresh herbs. It's not being overcooked. Just giving love to the product. They see that the plate is prettier, and when they take the first bite, they taste something.
In many of our homes where there are kosher kitchens, there are complaints that the food doesn't taste good because it's a kosher kitchen.
Kosher food shouldn't taste any different than non-kosher food. Kosher is just a process that goes with the Jewish faith. It shouldn't have any bearing on the product, on how it should taste. Good afternoon, it's Daniel from Rockaway Manor. I'd like to place an order for tomorrow. 1 case of tomatoes, 5x6, and 1 50-pound bag of onion.
See, at my home, you know, everything comes out of a can or a box. You know, do you use fresh food? I mean, like fresh potatoes, fresh, cauliflower.
When the price is at a reasonable cost, I'll get fresh. Always checking the prices. But again, it's also time, manpower. A flat of cantaloupe or honeydew when they're in season at $14 a flat, it's either the same if not less to buy the fresh fruit. But again, it's work. To cut up cantaloupe without wasting it, you have to have ability. And if you don't have the knife skills, it's going to increase your prep time. It's going to make your prep time longer.
Why is it cost effective to make some foods from scratch, but not other foods at all?
It depends on the ingredients on a product. Example, the chicken. If you have a seasoned chef in the kitchen, when you have chicken on the menu, he could butcher it. Huge savings if you butcher your own chicken. Plus, you're left over with the backs of the chicken wings. Today I'm going to turn it into a stock, and I'm going to turn it into a sauce for tonight. Just a cook, somebody that was promoted from dishwater. Unless you saw the chef do this, you wouldn't know what to do. And this could be 5 gallons of soup right here, easily, with flavor. I'm making like a little mixture of herbs in here, garlic, onion powder, and then I'm checking for seasoning. If it has, it's not bland because the Residents Food Committee has made me well aware that they're loving the food because it's not bland anymore. So now I'll make it sure. It's also the job of a chef to make it taste good. You know, it's your responsibility. It doesn't matter who I'm cooking for. It doesn't matter if I'm cooking for the president. I wouldn't treat the president any differently than a resident. It doesn't take any more effort. The only thing would change is in a restaurant I could get $21 for a $4 item.
What is your relationship with the food committee?
They usually meet in this area where we are now, and I usually pop in and out, and they fire away.
Some of the residents have complained about the meat being too tough. They have dentures, and you know you can't chew the meat, and it's very tough.
Most of the meat is slow roasted, and it's tender. The only thing that I can think of is when they reheat it for dinner, they're overcooking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in and see what they're doing, because I'm getting different responses from different people.
How would you like for them to approach you with anything that they have on their mind that they want to talk to you about?
Try to word it as nice as possible. Don't attack. Be specific on what's wrong. Don't go, it doesn't look good or it doesn't taste good. Be specific. It's flat. It needs salt and pepper. It needs some herbs. You know, taste like S is not good either. You got to be specific.
And how do you feel about working with a nutritionist?
I have no problems with working with a nutritionist. The nutritionist meets with me twice a month and asks if I have any questions or I'd like to change anything on the menu. And he'll give you amounts of how much starch, how much vegetable, how much protein. He's helping you. He's not a threat. We had one resident that loves Brussels sprouts, so I brought in some Brussels sprouts. I find when you have a happy camper, you have less stress. I have a captive audience here at the adult home. I want to know what they want. I walk around the dining room. I walk around the dining room and I see what's on their plate, what they didn't like, what they do like. And that's how I make a decision if it's cost effective. You know, if I see 10 or 15 plates with the onions and the peppers picked out, I won't put them in next time. Why waste it? How do you like your Brussels sprouts, Mary?
Delicious. Good dinner. Wow.
I get complimented 4 or 5 times a day. Their eyes have been opened to that you can make a low-budget food taste good and look good.
Hi, Danny. Danny, why don't you try a tuna casserole with mushrooms in it?
Yeah.
Tuna casserole.
With mushrooms.
You can do it for what?